We did it. We did it. We did it. We fucking did it, Jace. All right, I'm Josh.
I'm Jace.
We're watching My Hero Academia, Season 2, Episode 25.
The season finale.
Oh, yeah. So I feel like this episode, because we just had, the big fight at the end. This episode's just going to be like, calm down and like a transition. It's transitioning between arcs, And it's going to be like, maybe end on kind of like an interesting note, you know what I mean? All right, let's go.
Want to jump right into it?
I mean, also it's building up to the like Shigaraki's building up the League of Villains again with all the people who like, hey, League of Villains, ooh, like those two people who showed up at the end, that guy and then that girl. Oh yeah, let's flesh this out. Me and you were talking recently. We asked, who do you think would win in a fight, Deku or Bakugo? No powers. Like, who do you think would just straight up win in a fight? I think it's Bakugo.
I think it depends on how much Bakugo changes up his fighting style so that Deku can't predict what he's doing. I don't have enough information.
I think Bakugo can do that sufficiently. He's got, like, the crazy reaction time, and honestly, I think, he's taller. He's taller than Deku. He's got
what does that have to do with anything?
Well, I'm just saying, like, it's a physical superiority in a way. He's got the breach. I don't know why Bakugo is so good at combat, like, right off the bat. Like, were you just training your whole life to be good at combat? Like, he starts school and he's just really good. Like, I get why Deku would be really good because he trained for, like, 10 months with All Might on the beach. It's just, I don't know why Bakugo's so good right off the bat. You could just say, like, I trained for months when I found out about UA or whatever. You could have just said something like that. I just don't know why he's so good. Oh, by the way, it's the last time we're going to hear the song you just bought.
Wait a minute. What did All For One just say?
He wants Shigaraki to be his successor.
Does that mean he's going to pass All For One on to him?
Oh, shit. I don't know if he can do that. I know he can pass quirks on to other people. But I don't think Shigaraki's quirk could handle it. Or his body could handle it. Like, I feel like if he could, he would have done something about it by now. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, if you want this kid to be your successor, wouldn't you have already given him like an OP superpower if you could have? So
I don't know, but if you want someone to be your successor, wouldn't you need them to be as powerful or more powerful than you?
I think it just means like in terms of who's going to be the big bad after I'm gone. Not really like in the sense of like with Deku and All Might, like, hey, I'm going to give you my power and you're going to be the next me. But it's just, I think Shigaraki, All For One is just going to be like, hey, I'm setting you up to be the next me, but I can't give you my power.
I think you're kind of being naive there.
Well, I just don't know how they would do it, because how is...
What do you mean you don't know how they would do it? It's, guess what? You know how they would do it? The plot!
Ah, jeez. Alright. So we're going to camp.
Basically, it's basically like, oh, I have a continuity stone. Don't worry, I can give it to you.
Yeah. Alright, we're going to camp. So yeah, Shigaraki is going to be using... He's basically taking advantage of everything that happened with the hero killer for the advantage of the League of Villains. I do kind of like the idea that he said something like, your convictions are going to be my next stepping stone. He's kind of taking advantage... Like, he didn't really agree with the hero killer, but he's taking advantage of the hero killer's popularity to, to grow the League of Villains. So I'm concerned, okay? I feel like Uraraka is going to figure some shit out. For you see, Deku just said All For One in front of her.
Oh, she's definitely going to be thinking about that and wanting to ask...
what was that?
Deku, and probably even distract her from her feelings.
Oh, yeah.
A little bit.
What are you talking about? She doesn't have any feelings. She said it herself.
Fuck off. That's bullshit. And you know it.
What is it? And then, yeah, also, she saw All Might in his skinny form. She just didn't recognize him. But
She didn't know it was All Might.
She didn't know it was All Might, but I'm like, I feel like that's a lot of things happening. She could connect some dots. Season 3.
I feel like eventually, Deku, because of everything, Deku has obviously had most interactions with Uraraka out of all of Class 1A, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Well, except for Bakugo, but that's a different kind of relationship. I feel like there may be a point where Deku comes clean and tells Uraraka about.
I don't know about that. I mean, he did let it
slip. Part of me feels, although I feel like it could be more likely he would tell Kacchan about it.
He already did, remember?
He kind of, I mean, that's true. Exactly. Not 100%, no pun intended, but...
Gakpa
But yeah, Kacchan will probably learn about One for All.
Okay. Where do we go from here? Now there's just going to be... I think when
we go into season 3 is what we do.
I think what's going to happen is he's going to rebuild the League of Villains, but not like in the way of what it was, where it was just like 100 random, like just fucking randos, right? I think it's going to be smaller, but like more important characters. You know what I mean? That's what I think it's going to be. It's going to be more like the Akatsuki, or fuck, you don't know.
I don't know what the fuck that is.
It's the group of bad guys from Naruto. They didn't have 100 fucking guys. There was only like 10 of them. There was 10. Actually, no, there were 10 of them. There was 10 of them, and I think it's gonna be like that, where it's just gonna be like 10 really cool bad guys. You know, like the squad.
Dude, I want to watch season 3 so badly.
Well,
but we're gonna take a break.
Well, stop. Okay. Fucking hell, dude. So Deku, yeah, right now this is the state he's in. Started the season, he was shit. Okay, he was terrible using it. One for All. Now he's pretty good at it. He can only do 5% though. You think if he like tried to go for 6%, that it'd be like negative repercussions? You'd probably feel like a pinch.
I'm gonna step outside your comfort zone a little bit. I mean,
you gotta
he'll probably hurt himself, but it won't be anything like major.
I feel like he'll get used to it, you know, and it's worth it if it's just like an extra little bit of power. Like it's not like the way I view super strength is like you personally work out, and then the super strength like adds on or is multiplying your current strength. It's Deku that's not the case. The more he works out, I think it's just the more percentage he's going to get control of.
So the opposite?
Kind of. Man. So season 2, yeah, you're still... Tokoyami's your favorite?
Yeah, I gotta go Tokoyami. Man.
Yeah.
I mean,
who do you think is the funniest?
Kaminari, maybe?
I kind of... I might... Part of my brain wants to say that Bakugo is the funniest. I think just the moments with him...
Well, that's just because...
It's unintentional, but I still think it's funny. When it there's the dumbass faces he makes, and just how insane he is. Me and you want to do like a podcast thing about the show because we're really digging this show. But the problem is there's still 2 more seasons. Now, thanks to these final exams, we now know the powers of everybody in Class 1A and some of the teachers. There was that one dude who was like a mecha bulldozer looking thing.
That teacher? Yeah.
Power loader. I don't know what his power is. And then, yeah, I think it's really cool that we learned the powers of... Oh, there was that joke in that one episode that I thought was really funny. It was like, ectoplasm, he can make 30 clones, but after singing a couple songs at karaoke, he can bring it up to 36. But I think it's trying to make a joke that in Japan, when people go karaokeing, they usually drink. So I think it means like, after a few drinks, he can bump it up to 36, which I think is pretty funny.
I still don't understand that relationship.
I think it's interesting. I like that at the mall, there was like clothing for all different types of people. Like Shoji could get a shirt with like 6 sleeves for himself. Or,
he has a tentacles, so that wouldn't work out for him.
It's like,
there's
webbing.
Arm.
There's webbing.
The webbing, that's what I'm talking about.
I think maybe it was just like, it was like this part was wide enough so his arms could come out. And like Ida, there was like pants with like extra room around the calves for his engines. You'd think for Ida, he'd have to like always wear shorts if he wanted to use his power, or he has to wear like special pants with holes for the exhaust to come out of.
Well, in one example, he actually pulled his pants up and then engaged his exhausts.
Yeah, because he was wearing his school uniform. Oh yeah, we have like OVAs we gotta do. Yeah, we'll circle back. We'll get to the canon stuff. I was not happy with that one like filler episode that revolved around Froppy though. I think I could...
Cool characters, though.
Cool characters. I thought the Selkie was pretty funny. And I liked, what was her name? Sirius? The blue-haired girl. I just wish, like, you could have made it shorter. I don't really have to, you know what I mean? Or just make them part of, like, a bigger story. They don't have to be, like, episodic. You're coming up at 36 minutes. All right. That was a good season 2. Started off strong with the tournament arc, which is always a great way to go about it. And then it followed up by the Stain arc, which really... had more impact on the rest of I think it's gonna have an impact on the rest of the series, really, based on like the domino effect that's created. Because now people want to join the League of Villains, and what's that gonna do? And
it's gonna create chaos.
Gonna create chaos. Yeah, and then just the final exam arc. The final exam arc, it really didn't. What's really the point of the final exam arc in the grand scheme of things? It was just a cool down, maybe.
Well, they seem to be showing us. They just seem to be showing us off more quirks and stuff
Cool,
like that.
maybe just
show us how far they've come.
Maybe, but
a way to force Bakugo to.
I will say
work
that
with
yes.
Deku.
I will say this: All Might really hasn't done that much this season. I remember in season 1 he saved everybody at the USJ. But then in the tournament arc, he didn't do anything except like talk to Deku.
That's because he can only last like 45 minutes.
I know, but he didn't do anything, which I think is interesting. But there's so many like other cool characters that you didn't really notice. And whenever there is a cool character, like they're all like All Might's always there, like inspiring them. You know what I mean? And you know who also didn't really do much this season? Bakugo. I mean, he won the sports festival, but the more antagonistic character for that arc was Todoroki. And then he didn't do anything during the Stain arc. He had to put on jeans, and then in the final exam arc, he just partnered up with Deku, and that was it. Could someone explain to me how the Invisible Girl doesn't have how she has? It's supposed to be a bad thing that she's going up against the guy whose superpower is shooting a gun. I'm gonna bring all these topics up when we do the podcast with Matt. It'll be great. It'll be funny. All right. Let's wrap this up. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm Josh.
I'm Jace.
Patreon is a thing, and have a good one.
Season 3!